Okay, woo! I went off and I finished the entire game. The battle system never gets better, and I enjoyed the main characters and the plot less and less as it went on. For people who don't want to watch the whole massive video, here's a short summary of the issues. Pacing bad. Descends into cliché anime nonsense. The most bare minimum amalgam plot of everything that was popular in JRPGs and shonen at the time. There are 3 Sephiroths. Gets increasingly more sexist for some reason. Even the translation descends into more and more typos. And a self-referential, goofy tone is almost completely gone by the end. It just becomes bad anime plots played straight. Just fully phoned in, everyone involved was suffering from the length of this thing. Clearly even the writers didn't have enough ideas to actually fill that space. The ending is not worth it, and you can just look it up on YouTube anyway if you wanted. There's absolutely zero development between that ending and the opening scene of the game. You only find out who the bad guy is, like, right as you're fighting him. Its only saving grace is that the plot is such a nothing entity and it becomes a good mindless grinding game. Just play it in the background while watching video essays or doing some other work. I had practically reduced to a meditative state.
Stop! He's already dead!
And now, the more specifics of the bad. Pacing bad. Pacing bad in both ways somehow. Parallel, double, simultaneous, too slow and too fast. This has terrible priorities on what to spend its time on. It is a 48 chapters long, massive slog, and the vast majority of those chapters are filler slice of life bullshit. Long stretches of time with nothing happening, no actual main plot established until the very end. Just teases you with, there's a main plot, honest. Just pans over to some dude going, oh, I have an evil plan. 5 different red herrings of people who end up not being villains anyway. Seemingly main plot characters are just introduced, or, ooh, they're going to be important, but they never appear again for like 7 to 15 chapters, and by the time they're important, you've forgotten who the fuck they are. Some don't ever come back, aren't ever actually important. I have a whole section later on in this long video on every unresolved plot line, oh my fucking god. And then whenever we actually finally do get to any of this main plot stuff, it's rushed as fuck, cramps a bunch of lore in 5 seconds, just tells you this stuff is something you're supposed to care about. But you don't know who anyone is, or what any of their reasons are, for anything. Honestly, a lot of these ideas are going to sound interesting to you, the viewer. It's hard to describe them in a way that's worse than they are in the game. You're going to think, that sounds like a cool plot, I wonder how they executed it. They do not. It is genuinely exactly the same experience as Bonford saying one-sentence summaries at you. The characters themselves just walk in and say they did shit off screen. Even worse when they don't even give us that much. It's just, hey, remember this newly introduced character, pretend they were here the whole time. Or characters we've actually known for hours just evaporate into dust. By the end of the game, it was genuinely like, oh, the army of Bleedly Blue is invading Horgy Fork. Gasp! Dempledump, you were behind it all along? Yes, haha, it was definitely foreshadowed it all. Turns directly to the camera. Please believe this was motivating my character arc. 99% of the game is just Seal being a random thief dude with no real goal except saving money. Words cannot express how sudden it is that the world is suddenly at stake and how little I actually cared. So hey, that's the main plot that it's not spending its time on. What about the stuff it is spending its time on? I wonder what that's like. The majority of the game, the slice of life filler, is not even good. It doesn't develop anything. It doesn't focus on our characters in slice of life. You would think it would be a slice of their life. The formula for the vast majority of side quests, quote-unquote side quests, Fred Bob Job Man of a Day says go do my arbitrary chore. You struggle awfully to do it because the gameplay sucks. Get back and your characters are just told they failed anyway off screen in a cutscene. Some other character walks in and solves a problem instead. Story just ends there with no resolution. Haha, laugh now, laugh that we wasted your time. This is what the subversive aspects devolve into as the game goes on. It sucks more because pretty much zero of them actually deliver this anticlimax in an actually funny way. Oh, and for what I mean by the gameplay sucking, it's not even just the battle system sucking. The very way that they program side missions at all is just awful. No guidance ever. Do my Fred Bob chore, you fuck. No, I will not explain. You just dropped in. You have to backtrack your ass across the entire map, talk to every goddamn entity to find the one whose dialogue has changed. They will tell you to go do something else, again with no idea who to talk to do that thing. That person is likely someone you have already talked to, just not in the right order. Talk to everyone on the goddamn map 4 to 6 times in quick succession with no indication who or where to go, And sometimes you do all that and you still can't find it, because somehow you should magically know a new area opened up with no indication if you walk behind a particular building where nothing has ever happened before. Real fucking obscure shit decide to force you to use a guide. Unnecessary padding to extend the length of an already long-ass game. And even more padding on top of that, because some missions will just be like, go to the end of this dungeon, walk all the way back to the town, walk all the way back to the same spot in the dungeon, and now you can progress. Doesn't even have a courtesy to say you can't progress. I was just somehow meant to know when I picked up snowshoes, but it's not, in fact, not enough to walk on the snow, and I need to walk 20 minutes back, talk to the blacksmith and forge better snowshoes. Ah! The worst part is that the longer the game goes on, the more the main story missions end up this way too, both in terms of bad gameplay and pointless chores, and the more the side missions become not skippable, because there actually are some that have genuine character development and important backstory lore, and you've got no clue which is which, so just roll a roulette of crap, I guess. It feels like they roll the dice to determine what's main or side story. Why the fuck is actually talking about my trauma from disability hidden over here while fighting some evil loan sharks is mandatory chapter 2 shit? If anything, the main story filler tends to be even worse, because the anticlimax ending is always the same. You at least get a variety of premises for the side quests. Words cannot express how many times we get, oh, shady person who is probably the main villain hires us for a job, this is an obvious trap. For whatever contrived reason, we can't just say no. We walk into the obvious trap. It was indeed a trap. They sold us out to get caught by the policeman Leon. For no easy to find reason, Leon doesn't actually capture us. Let us get away while still yelling loudly that he's not on our side and his driving motivation is in fact to capture us. This is not in any way foreshadowing that he's lying. He genuinely is supposed to be a competent policeman, and it's just like, plot doesn't say it's time yet. It is so baffling because you get multiple unwinnable battles where there's no option but to get captured, and then he just doesn't. Oh, it wouldn't be honourable to do this now. Oh, some other NPC broke us out. Oh, he was distracted by something over there. Anyway, we escape with nothing resolved. And then next week we can get another obvious trap job and fall for it again. Every single villain in the entire plot does the same evil plan. Half your allies do it too. Some characters return to do it multiple times. Main villain guy doesn't even disguise himself a second time, or the third, or the fourth. Just, hey, you know, last time it was an obvious trap. I didn't do that though. Just a coincidence. Oh, well, I guess let's trust him. Which later turns into, no, I do not in fact believe him. Wow, growth. But I still have to take his job anyway. Ungrowth! Ungrowth! What the fuck is the reason? Is it just man honour again? And I have no investment whatsoever in Seal's thief man honour when I don't even know why the fuck he's working for these people. His boss and a second-in-command rival guy sell him out on trap missions multiple times and don't give a shit if he dies. Why do we keep coming back? Second-in-command guy even tries to trick us into murdering his own brother, and Seal is just like, oh, nobody could really hate their family, he must just be tsundere. There must be a good reason behind all this, it must be tough love. He keeps saying this even when we have to help the guy immigrate out of the fucking country to escape his murder brother. Man runs off on a boat to China because his abuser is just that bad. Cut to Seal, optimistic, oh, I'm sure they'll work it out. The end. Everyone still trusts this guy. Some of his stuff could have been at least tolerable if a game kept a purely comedic tone throughout, and everyone being an arsehole was on purpose. It wouldn't matter that we can't get invested because we don't need to. But no, it descends into generic shonen plot nonsense that tries its damn best to be legitimately serious, and just fails utterly. Okay, phew. Big rant over. Now that I've got that out of the way, I can get to the bigger rant! Yay! I took a big old pile of screenshots while I played, so in the next video, let's rip apart this hell plot in order. Interspersed with some breaks to cover stuff I genuinely liked. It's not 100% a bad game. I will try and be more balanced about that. But the gameplay eats an arse of fucking dicks. I will not pull any punches on that. Anyway, see you next time.